For many of you, generative AI is now a part of your weekly, if not daily, conversations. It really is here and now, no longer just a future or distant promise or possibility, and it is reshaping the workflows of legal, compliance, and IT teams. As these teams face growing pressures to deliver better service quality, speed, compliance, the question is not so much can we use generative AI for these purposes, but how do we use generative AI? How do we do it in a way that's compliant, in a way that's effective, in a way that's not just about the future promise of what we might achieve in 3 years' time, but something we can actually implement today? Generative AI brings with it a whole range of really powerful promises: improved analysis, scaled workflows, automated tasks that might have previously been very challenging or impossible to implement with rules-based systems alone. But for business-critical workflows, organizations have found that AI alone, without guardrails and without rules, it does fall short. The risk of unpredictable or unverifiable outputs does mean that AI without rules is not an acceptable option for many organizations, and particularly for organizations operating in regulated environments. What matters now is practicality. What we're talking about is deploying AI in a way that drives immediate business value, but deploying it within a governance framework that does support precision and trust. Over the past year, we've seen an expansion around early innovation and prototyping projects involving generative AI into far more structured, more governed projects that are now driving business value in production. A highly practical and safe approach to implementing generative AI, and large language models specifically, is the use of LLM assistants in automated workflows. LLM assistants are purpose-specific tools. In essence, they're a set of instructions created by you sitting on top of a large language model like GPT-4o or GPT-4 Turbo. You might, for example, draft a custom set of instructions for a specific LLM assistant to perform a contract review task, a translation task, or say a risk analysis on a project summary paper. You can draft and refine the instructions that will be executed by the large language model and that make up the identity of this assistant. And the power of this is that they're reusable. You define and refine instructions that can then scale across any number of projects or activities. And importantly, these assistants can be wrapped into much broader business processes or automated workflows. Now, the power of a no-code platform orchestration layer in this context is that these LLM assistants can be wrapped into a much broader rules-based workflow, rules-based applications. You get the benefits of compliance as well as the power of language understanding and generation flowing from large language models. There's naturally been some skepticism in the market around what people refer to as thin wrappers. What they're talking about here is predefined workflow solutions or applications built to simply call out to large language model APIs, not adding that much value inherent to the product that you might be paying for. The question arises, why pay for a SaaS product that doesn't meet your very specific requirements? And it's a valid concern. With no-code automation platforms, orchestration layers like Neota, you're not procuring a thin wrapper, you're actually building your own. In this scenario, Neota is the development layer, the workflow engine, the integration toolkit. It allows you to design your own BPMN-aligned workflows that then wrap around LLM assistants that you've defined yourself. The outcome of this is the best of both worlds between rules-based systems and large language model technology. On the rules side, you've got automated decision-making, automated risk analysis, automated triaging in a way that's consistent and compliant and aligns with your playbook. On the language side, you've got very nuanced language extraction and drafting in ways that may not have been possible previously with rules alone. Using rules-based workflows and applications as a wrapper for LLM assistants should not be confused with the implementation of AI agents. AI agents or agentic AI refers to far more autonomous activity by AI over multiple systems and perhaps over a much longer time frame. Tasking AI agents with specific business outcomes, but letting the AI determine the best actions or pathway to achieving them is by definition a far less structured, less compliant, and less predictable implementation of LLM technology. Those far less predictable actions and intermediate outcomes delivered by AI agents mean that for organizations, especially in regulated environments, they are not practical or safe for implementation today. Our view is that organizations of the future that succeed with AI agents will be preparing the ground now, using the best of rules-based systems and LLM technology, LLM assistants in a way that create value but deliver practical compliance solutions today.